Good morning, Corpus, Christi, Coastal Bend, and listeners worldwide. Welcome on in to another edition of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS 1440 AM at 98.7 FM. I am your host, your fearless sports leader, James Espinosa, joined alongside, of course, one of my best friends. He's running the boards, he's behind the glass, he's pushing all the right buttons, and he might talk occasionally today. It is Adin Ducker.
What's Gucci with it?
Man, this is a prime Jordan flu performance, man.
Full disclosure to the listening audience, Adin does not feel great today. Adin and I we haven't been in the same room. We are trying to avoid each other because Adin appears to be ill, but he is going to give his all.
You know, it's not COVID. It's because we tested earlier in the week, but still, it's like... It's
whipping your ass is what's going on.
Dude, I woke up. I texted you in the middle of the night, like, at 5 a.m. I was like, you might carry. I don't know. I'm trying to make a carry comparison here.
I mean, I might have to go LeBron James Game 7 against the Spurs, 2013.
Maybe. Well, he had help, but yeah.
I'm just saying.
Man. Okay. Yeah, I guess you got to make that.
I might have to go. I'm gonna have to drop 80 like Kobe did.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
R.I.P. Kobe. Yesterday, or was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
I think it was Friday.
Friday was 4 years since his passing.
Yeah.
That is insane to think about. But we're here with you this morning, 361-882.
Hey, at least my voice sounds less annoying.
I'm
one of the people where like when I don't feel as or like. my higher register doesn't appear whenever I'm like this, so y'all might enjoy like a smooth, like, you know.
You sound like one of the like Barry, what's his name, the old like sensual singer,
Barry Manilow.
One of those, yeah.
Is that his thing? I don't know.
You sound...
Listeners, text in. Is that the right name? Is that who?
Or am I thinking like Barry White?
I don't know.
Something like that. Anyways, 361-882-5397. We're here with you till 11 a.m. It is Championship Sunday. 2 games today in the NFL slate. You got Chiefs at Ravens. You got Lions at 49ers. That will determine the Super Bowl. But coming up in today's show, at 9:50, we do have some college hoops to talk about because I am officially college basketball James. I'm college hoops James. I'm watching as much college hoops as I can. So I'll break down the Saturday slate for you guys. We also have an Islander report coming up. They got a big win yesterday on the road after they bounced back from their loss against McNeese on Monday night. We'll detail all of that to come. At 9:30, we're going to preview the NFC title game, Lions versus 49ers, and Alex Weister is going to call in twice today. He's going to call in at 9:30. He's going to call in at 10:30 to help us break down both NFC and AFC title games.
Yeah, double the Weister.
That's right. Double the Weister, double the fun. At 9:20, I have a bone to pick with Baseball Hall of Fame once again. But right now, the question to the audience, let's kick things off. We're going to talk NFL. Let's dive right into it. It's Championship Sunday. Question to the audience, 361-882-5397. It's simple. Who is going to the Super Bowl? What is your Super Bowl matchup? Who wins today? Give me your bold predictions for Championship Sunday. Lions at 49ers. Can the Lions do the impossible? Can the Lions get to their first Super Bowl? Can they knock off that vaunted 49ers team in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium? Will Dan Campbell bite some freaking kneecaps off? Will they do it? Will Jared Goff go back to his second Super Bowl with his second team? Is Detroit going to go crazy tonight? Will that happen? 361-882-5397. You look on the other side, and it's Chiefs and it's Ravens. The Chiefs are in their 6th consecutive AFC title game. Mahomes has only been a quarterback for 6 years. He's in the 6th title game of his career. Absolutely phenomenal what Mahomes has been able to do in his tenure.
And I believe only Brady and the Pats made it to 8 straight. I think it's from 2011 to 2018.
Wild.
So.
And on the other hand, Will Lamar Jackson break through that glass ceiling? Will the Ravens get back to a Super Bowl? Will Lamar Jackson and the Ravens shut everybody up, all the naysayers, all the doubters, me included? Because I've doubted the Ravens many times.
Yeah, and they, Lamar and the Ravens, they got through the second round, divisional round. They got through that boogeyman.
And now, and it's only apropos that the Ravens, in order to get to where they want to be, will have to slay the dragon known as Patrick Mahomes. It's like the great Ric Flair once said, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I remember when the Ravens lost to the Bills in 2020. I mean, they could have avenged the Bills there, but this just feels right. The Chiefs, ever since, Brady left the Patriots, even then before when the Chiefs were in the path to the AFC title game, it's been the Chiefs. So they've been the guy you have to beat to make it to the Super Bowl.
So today is going to be one of those days. Championship Sunday is always my favorite day. Weigh in with your takes. I just want to know, who's going to the Super Bowl? Who do you got? Give me some score predictions. Give me some bold takes, some things that you foresee happening. Does Mahomes go for 400 yards? Is Lamar Jackson going to have a career day with 150 rushing yards, 300 passing yards? Just give me something. I want to hear your thoughts on the game. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Who will be in Las Vegas in 2 weeks? That's what I want to know. Some more NFL news to get to. Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. It happened. It happened. A 5-year deal, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. He leaves the national champion Wolverines to coach the NFL's Los Angeles Chargers, the team announced on Wednesday. Now, Harbaugh, successful pretty much everywhere he's went. Since his head coaching career began in 2006 at the University of San Diego, Harbaugh has had success at Stanford and Michigan and in the NFL with the 49ers. Harbaugh also has a Chargers connection. He played quarterback for the team for 2 seasons in 1999 and 2000. Harbaugh leaves college with an immaculate win-loss record. 144-42, winning 3 Big Ten championships and Michigan's first national title about a month ago since 1997. He was 86-25 at Michigan, restored college football's winningest program back to the mountaintop after several seasons where Michigan just flat out stunk. Remember, they had guys like Brady Hoke at head coach. They had Rich Rodriguez.
Wow, Rich Rodriguez, yeah.
They could never find the guy to replace Lloyd Carr. And that's what happens. You never want to be the guy after the guy. And now Harbaugh leaves Michigan. He's going to be the head coach of the Chargers.
Yeah, he's a legend now.
He's solidified legend. You're correct. He's going to have Justin Herbert as his quarterback. He's going to have a lot of weapons on that offense. He's bringing along his defensive coordinator from Michigan. Is it Jesse Minter?
I'm not.
Let me look
I know
that up.
he had McDonald, the Ravens DC, for a year.
Yes, Jesse Minter.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they were on the Ravens staff, right? McDonald and Minter.
Yes.
And Harbaugh was like, man, the defense needs to improve. And so he took McDonald as a DC. But then John Harbaugh was like, yeah, I kind of need McDonald to replace Wink Martindale, right? And so Harbaugh made the other guy, Minter, his DC.
Interesting.
And so there's a connection there. And now Minter, that's a good move, man.
Jesse Minter will be joining Harbaugh as the defensive coordinator at Los Angeles. Now, I guess what we can say is this, Harbaugh's had a history of success everywhere he's been, especially with the 49ers, spent 4 seasons with them, took them to a Super Bowl where they lost to his brother John Harbaugh back in, I believe, Super Bowl 47.
And really the only reason why, Harbaugh would butt heads with GM Trent Baalke, former GM, and then the ownership, Jed York. That's why he dipped to Michigan, because, But now the Niners have seemed to, they've seemed to fix himself now. Well, but now Harbaugh's back.
And now Harbaugh will have to deal with Dean Spanos of the LA
Spanos
Chargers.
He's not really highly regarded. I would like to see how that dynamic plays out. The Chargers don't, they have talent. They just need the right head coach to bring it all together.
Let's forecast. He has a 5-year deal. let's forecast. Prediction time. At the end of 5 seasons, what is the absolute peak of his Chargers tenure?
I mean,
what does he do?
I mean, it's the Chargers. That's the thing. Like, they're a very snake-bitten franchise. They're like the Falcons of the AFC.
That is a great comparison. They are like the Falcons,
they're
right?
So snake-bitten, dude. So I think
where's their peak?
I think they're a wild card contender. It just seems that no matter what the year, the Chiefs always win that division. So I can't really,
Well, you got to think about this, right? We're forecasting 5 years down the road. How do they do? In 5 years, Mahomes will be in his 11th season.
Yeah, but Mahomes is not going to go anywhere.
I'm just saying.
We got
Andy Reid could be gone. A lot of things can change in the AFC West in that amount of time.
I mean,
I will forecast and say this. I think their peak, the absolute peak of the Harbaugh tenure, and this is just me spitballing, right, and making a dumb sports prediction, but I'll say AFC title game. At one point in these next 5 years, AFC title game, especially with the talent of Justin Herbert and now, the acumen of Jim Harbaugh. I mean, at San Francisco, he went 44-19-1. This dude is just a winner. It's not just in college, in the NFL. He's been to the precipice of a title in the NFL, and he's actually taken his college football team, the Michigan Wolverines, to a national championship. This guy just knows how to build winning programs. And if I'm, going to tie this into a Cowboys angle, because we are the Cowboys station, it's freaking, I don't even know. It's unfathomable how Jerry Jones just couldn't even kick the tires. Instead, you want to bring back Big Mike, which, whatever.
I don't think Harbaugh's a yes guy.
He's not.
We saw that in San Francisco. He butted heads with Balky, like I said earlier.
The Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, for that fact, because Stephen has a lot to do with this as well in Jerry's advanced age, they wouldn't like Harbaugh coming in and disrupting and overturning a roster and saying, I need these guys and that guys, and these guys aren't going to cut it for me. Jerry Jones would not be able to handle that. That's probably one of the main reasons why
and what's funny,
they didn't try to bring him in.
What's funny, when McCarthy got hired, we thought maybe he's not so much of a yes guy, and then he's slowly morphing back into he's what's that meme that Homer Simpson where he's in the bushes
where he just slides back into the bushes.
Yeah, out comes Jason Garrett. It's like almost the same scenario.
Now let's look at some of the NFL head coaching vacancies. Right, the Patriots have hired Gerard Mayo. The Titans hired Brian Callahan, the Bengals offensive coordinator. The Raiders keep Antonio Pierce, which I love that move for the Raiders. Panthers hire Bucs OC Dave Canales. And the Falcons, in a surprise this week, they go with Raheem Morris. Now, why am I surprised about the Raheem Morris hiring? He's a great defensive mind. We all know that. But the Falcons interviewed Bill Belichick not once, twice. And Bill Belichick couldn't get the job? Is Bill Belichick about to go winless in this coaching cycle? The only 2 teams left right now, unless a surprise move happens between now and the next month, there's only 2 spots left. It's the Commanders and it's the Seahawks.
Well, to be, it's being painted as only the Falcons want to interview him, but I think Belichick only wanted to interview with a couple teams that there's really not a lot of good.
Could this be a year where Belichick just sits out, maybe does some TV, and then jumps into the next coaching cycle? That's what it's looking like.
I mean, look at the Eagles and Cowboys. If they struggle like they did this past season, McCarthy's probably gone.
Maybe.
And so you put Belichick with 2 talented teams like that. I mean, I think he's probably going to sit out most likely. The Falcons do have talent, but they still need to find a quarterback.
There we go. 361-882-5397. A lot to be discussed in the NFL. I do have one more NFL note I want to get to, but I'll do that after the break. 361-882-5397. Question of the day. It is Championship Sunday. Who's going to the Super Bowl? 361-882-5397. When we come back, a former Cowboys coordinator is now making his home in Philadelphia. I'll tell you who. It's the Sunday Sports Rush after the break. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 149. It's Championship Sunday. It's James Espinosa and Adin Ducker with you till 11 a.m. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll dive into our first preview. We'll dive right into Lions and 49ers. That will be the first game we're previewing. We are set to have Alex Weister join us on the line. We'll make sure to contact him here in a couple of seconds to make sure he is still good to go. But either way, Lions 49ers preview coming up here in about 15 minutes. Hitting up the text line, 361-882-5397. Ryan L. is in here on the text line. Shout out to Ryan. Appreciate you getting in, my guy. Ryan is weighing in on today's championship games. Ryan says, I have a feeling that defensive lineman guy from A&M who plays for the Ravens called Madubuike is going to be a huge problem for Mahomes. I'm thinking Ravens and Lions win today. That's a great point, Ryan. And this is a stat that I found out courtesy of Bob Sturm of The Ticket up in Dallas. I heard him talking about this, but there's 7 Ravens defensive linemen this season. 7 Ravens defensive linemen who have each registered 20-plus pressures on the quarterback. The Ravens defensive line, they don't just have one guy. They got multiple guys. It is literally a flock of Ravens that swarm the quarterback. So, yes, that could be a big deal today.
It's like that Hitchcock movie, The Birds.
Exactly. Yeah,
Basically,
exactly.
yeah.
They got 7 guys who have registered 20-plus pressures. That is phenomenal. They come in waves.
And the Ravens, and these were very under-the-radar signings, and we'll talk about it more later, but, like, they signed 2 veteran edge linebackers, Van Noy and Clowney. And they've been absolutely amazing, man. They just it seems like they're always there, like in a key third down pressure situation.
Yeah.
So.
You need those guys like that. 361-882-5397. Philip is in here. Philip says, I want Lions and Ravens, but my gut says it will be 49ers and Chiefs. I think a lot of the sentiment out there.
That's a Super Bowl the NFL fan base doesn't want.
Lions and Chiefs?
No.
No.
Niners and Chiefs.
Niners and Chiefs.
I think we already saw that matchup like a few years ago.
Yeah, it'd be a rematch of a few years ago.
I like seeing matchups we haven't I wouldn't say like matches, but like franchises like.
The fresh matchup would be Lions and Ravens.
Yeah.
I think people have a little bit, and like you said, Aiden, people are a little bit worn out on the Chiefs. People are worn out on the 49ers. People want fresh new blood in the Super Bowl, and that is okay. Everybody wants to see new franchises going for it. You get tired of the same old over again. That is just a natural human inclination.
And then real quick before we talk about the Eagles OC hiring, there was this graphic, an ESPN graphic where they did like a poll, like a fan poll, and it was the 2018 AFC title game, and 80% of the fan base were rooting for the Chiefs to beat the Pats, right? Now, it's flip-flopped. The Chiefs have basically become like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, it happens, man. They are now the hated. They're no longer the lovable Chiefs who were the losers. They're now the perennial winners, and now you are the hated. You are the hunted. Now people can't stand Mahomes. They cannot stand Travis Kelce. They can't stand Taylor Swift. People hate Andy Reid. It happens, dude. It happens to all teams in every sport. When you become the lovable loser and turn into the winning franchise, all of a sudden people will turn a blind eye toward you and they can't stand you. That's just a natural thing, and it makes sense. It makes sense. 361.
Similar to the Astros, man.
Yeah, similar to the Stros. Similar. I'm pretty sure the 90.
Actually, do you have that stat we can say for later on in the show?
Yes, I do. I'll look. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's similar to probably the early 90s Cowboys. People probably thought, oh, cool, the Cowboys are back. They won again. And you see the Cowboys win 3 out of 4, and then all of a sudden they were hated. It happens. It happens. 361-882-5397. Get your Super Bowl predictions in on the text line. Text us right now. More NFL news. Boy, oh boy, Cowboys fans, get ready for this one. The Eagles are hiring former Chargers and Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore as their offensive coordinator, sources told Adam Schefter on Saturday. This move comes 2 days after the Eagles hired Vic Fangio as their defensive coordinator in the first move of a coaching staff overhaul by current head coach Nick Sirianni. Moore will replace Brian Johnson, who was fired earlier this week, Vic Fangio replaces Sean Desai and Matt Patricia, who were both probably, or I know Desai was let go. I think Patricia probably got let go also. I'm not sure on his status. But either way, Moore is going to be the Eagles' offensive coordinator. And we all know what Moore did from 2019 to 2022. His offense ranked in the top 4 in points per game, yards per game, and third down conversion percentage in that span. Now he's going to have Jalen Hurts, who threw a career-high 15 interceptions this season, where the Eagles slipped from 3rd in points per game to 7th, went from 9th in passing to 16th, and fell from 5th in rushing to 8th.
I'm a little skeptical about the Kellen Moore hire. I don't know if his style fits the Eagles' personnel. You know, Jalen Hurts, and I was a little disappointed in how he finished the year, man. I thought, you know,
yeah.
I mean, but I'm not going to count him out yet.
Bad seasons happen.
Yeah, it's just I don't know about the fit. Now the Eagles' defense is going to improve. I felt like that Dolphins' defense had its moments, even against the Chiefs. That they were holding them a little bit. But
we saw what the Dolphins did to the Cowboys.
I mean, the Eagles had like the worst, I think one of the worst pass defenses in the league last year.
They were literal bottom 5 in almost all defensive metrics, especially that secondary. That secondary was putrid. The Eagles,
they're at least going to be in the middle of the pack.
The Eagles' strength comes from their big guys up front. Even the Eagles linebackers, to a degree, were not that great. They really don't have a core set of linebackers in that secondary. James Bradbury, I don't know what happened to him. He fell off a cliff.
You know, they have names, too.
Darius Slay is getting old. Let's just face facts. The Eagles' secondary is not that great.
I mean, is Fletcher Cox going to be back in the interior? Brandon Graham might not be back.
But this is a Hail Mary play from Nick Sirianni because his name was on the hot seat. And now you get rid of both coordinators. You bring in a Vic Fangio. You bring in a Kellen Moore. This is a Hail Mary from Nick Sirianni. And if things don't go well for Nick Sirianni, guess what? Your ass is next. And you know what? The Eagles just might have their next head coach on the staff right now. I won't be surprised if in 2 years we're hearing head coach Kellen Moore, Philadelphia Eagles.
You're done. You are done.
Won't be surprised if it happens like that. That's facts.
I know Sirianni annoys you. You want to see the Sirianni downfall.
Oh, I mean, look. Let's just say the guy comes off as a smack talker.
He's perfect. He's a perfect Philly personality coach.
But even the Philadelphia fans are tired of him.
Well, yeah, when you're not winning, and it's
a tough environment, and that wraps up this segment. Coming up next, we preview Lions and 49ers. 361-882-5397. Who wins between the Lions and 49ers? Get your takes in. Sunday Sports Rush continues. Sports Rush, we're back. It's James, it's Aiden. Rolling with you all the way to 11 a.m. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we got some college basketball talk. What? No way. That's damn right. I'm college basketball James. I watched 3 college basketball games yesterday. And what?
I saw the women's. I saw South Carolina, LSU, the whole game.
Yeah. Some great stuff going on in college hoops. We'll talk college hoops in about 15 minutes, and we'll mix in some Islanders talk. Big win by the Islanders yesterday, both men and women on the road, as they continue their quest for another Southland Conference championship. 361-882-5397. Get your takes in. Speaking of champions, these guys are the champions of Corpus. These guys will champion you and take care of you. It's Crossroads Clinical Research. It's that time of the year, guys. Make sure to hit them up. They're doing medical studies. You could earn some cash. What's better than earning cash for your time? Nothing. It's Crossroads Clinical Research. Jerry Plemons, he's that guy. He's that dude. He's the Patrick Mahomes of Corpus Christi. He's bringing home championships. He's bringing home MVPs, all that good stuff. Crossroads Clinical Research, 361-288-4668. Get scheduled and sign up today. Hit them up at number3cra.com. That is Crossroads Clinical Research. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, he doesn't need the refs to call phantom roughing the passer calls. Jerry gets it done Himself.
He does get it done himself. It's time to preview.
Totally not a Ravens fan talking.
No, definitely not. No bias at all from you. Speaking of no bias, we have Lone Star Emmy Award winner, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, Texans Live own. He goes to the University of North Texas.
Future Super Bowl 80 play-by-play broadcaster on national TV.
He is that guy. It is Alex Weister. He's on the line. He's going to join us right now. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, boys.
Let's go, dude. It's Championship Sunday. How you feeling?
Indeed it is. I feel great. It's a cold day up here in Dallas, about 40 degrees.
Ooh.
So winter's not going away up here yet, but it's a sunny day out, so that takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you. It's kind of about the same down here in Corpus for sure. Sunny, a little bit nippy outside. Might be able to cut some glass, if you know what I mean.
Nippy!
But still, it's a good day, man. So the first game we want to dive into is Lions at 49ers, and this is the 5:30 p.m. slate. This game will be going down on Fox, and it'll be called by Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen.
It's time to bring this one back, man.
Bring it back.
Hard Knocks theme.
Lions, this is their first NFC title game since 1991. For the 49ers, it's their third straight NFC title game, their fourth in the last 5 seasons. Now, Alex Weister, Aiden, just turn that down just a tad bit. There we go. Weister, can you hear me good?
Yep.
All righty. Weister, your initial thoughts. It's Niners. It's Lions. Can Dan Campbell and those Lions snap some knees, bite some knees, and possibly pull off an upset? What are your thoughts right now?
I absolutely think that they can. The 49ers secondary is absolutely beatable, and I think the Lions passing game is good. Now, the one concern I think for a lot of people is Jared Goff on the road. Can he actually be on the road, not being able to play good thought that everybody has had in his years? I mean, look at last year. The road home splits were just crazy. And it's a little bit better this year, but this is a very, very tough Niners team. The offensive line is one of the best units in the league. They're going to have to hold up and give Jared Goff some time and allow him to feel comfortable in this game if they really want to have a shot.
Great points right there, man. Look, Jared Goff, if he's able to go into San Francisco and take this Lions team to a Super Bowl, it will be his second trip to the Super Bowl with his second franchise. The story of Jared Goff is amazing in its own right. I mean, last week, let's just look at what happened, right? He's with the Rams. They go to the Super Bowl. They lose to the Patriots. Essentially, Sean McVay says, you know what? I can't win with this guy. We need to go get Matthew Stafford.
A pariah.
Look, was Sean McVay wrong? No, they ended up winning a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. So in the end, Sean McVay was right. But at the same time, Jared Goff was casted away, thrown away as spare parts, and now his rise and helping usher in this Lions new era, it's quite frankly amazing. And it's hard not to root for a guy like that.
Absolutely. And it seems that they have completely embraced him in the city. You see the post-game talks between him and Dan Campbell. The team loves him. The city loves him. They're already in talks, I saw this morning, for a contract extension. It seems like he's going to be their quarterback for a while.
Now, what to watch for today between 49ers and Lions? 361-882-5397. Make sure to get your guys' text in on the text line, 361-882-5397. Let us know your predictions on this ball game. The 49ers, record 19th conference championship game appearance for Detroit. It's just their second conference title game of the Super Bowl era and first since the 1991 season. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. The Niners' run defense, which ranks 25th in rushing yards allowed and 28th in yards per carry allowed since Week 15, how will they hold up against the Lions' two-headed rushing attack of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery? That might be something to watch out for, Alex.
I agree completely. I think this is a game where they're probably not going to be able to rely on David Montgomery as much. I think they're going to need the dynamic skill set of Jahmyr Gibbs, get him out in the passing game, get him in the run game, finding them outside running lanes, and that's what I ultimately think is going to be more effective for them. Overall, I don't think the run game is going to be great because the 49ers are great at stopping the run, and naturally with their offense, they score a lot and teams have to pass more. But Gibbs is going to have to be used a lot in this game, I think, if they're going to be successful.
Now, a stat to know about today's contest, the 49ers have been one of the toughest teams to tackle in the NFL this season. They lead the league in yards after contact, about 95 yards per game, yards after contact. In the championship game, this Lions defense will have to put a stop to that, as it also leads the league in yards after contact allowed. So This could be a potential for y'all guys remember that Niners and Eagles game earlier this season where Brock Purdy was throwing little swing routes and then Deebo Samuel and company were taking it like 40 yards to the house off of missed tackles?
If anybody knows, it's Alex. Well, he had Deebo on his team.
For example, for instance, though, that could be a problem for the Lions. They are not the sharpest tackling team, and that could fall right into the 49ers' hands and what Shanahan and company want to do.
I agree. That's a very good point. But the one thing about the Lions' defense that I think is what could really keep them in this game is their run defense. The fact that the strong suit of their defense is their run defense, and the fact that the strong suit of the 49ers' offense is Christian McCaffrey, I think that bodes well. It's just up to the linebackers. It's up to the secondary to do their job tackling, try and do their best covering against these weapons, and hopefully put together a great team effort.
We are with Alex Weister. He's joining us on the line, helping us break down Lions and 49ers. As it stands this morning, the Niners are a 7-point favorite at home, a full touchdown's worth against the Detroit Lions. Now, a matchup X factor that people might want to pay attention to is just how dominating Aiden Hutchinson has been in this past month or so. The Lions' pass defense is the weakest unit left in the playoffs, ranking 30th in EPA, expected points on average, per drop back over the course of the season. Hutchinson is one person who can change that, of course. He's a difference maker. He has a 29% pass rush win rate here in the postseason. That's more than double his regular season number. He also has 8 sacks in his last 4 games. 8 sacks in the past 4 games. That's 2 sacks per game. That's going to be critical. That 49ers offensive line is going to have to account for him somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Niners offensive line, they got, Trent Williams. I think he'll do a decent job.
Quick question. Over under the personal foul calls on Trent Williams
it's over.
At half. I'll go 0.5. Is he going to have one today?
He's definitely going to get a personal foul call. Man, for such a Hall of Fame player, his situational awareness at times is like a box of rocks, man.
Now, all that being said, he is a phenomenal offensive lineman. And, Aiden Hutchinson, that's going to be a great matchup to watch. Another guy who has been solid for the Lions here in the playoffs has been wide receiver Josh Reynolds. In the playoffs, he's had 7 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. He can also be sort of a matchup X factor alongside, of course, we all know Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to do his thing. We all know all the other weapons.
And Laporta, he doesn't even look, he had an injury to end the year, but he doesn't look like it. He still looks pretty good.
So there we go. Alex, any other further thoughts on what the Lions present or what are you looking for in particular out of the 49ers offense? Deebo Samuel will play today. That is being reported. Deebo is expected to sign up, although he might not be 100%.
Yes. So what we usually see from the 49ers whenever Deebo suffers an injury, it looked serious, it sounded serious. I don't expect him to be the full-on playmaker that we usually see for them. I expect a lot more of George Kittle throughout this game. I think that's what a lot of people expect. Brandon Ayuk is going to get his. Deebo, he'll probably have at least 1 carry and a few targets. But overall, I think his day will be probably relatively limited. I think the Lions are going to have to play some really, really good football if they want to win this game. I think it's either a close win or loss, or if they can't play good against this team on the road, it might get messy.
And I echo the same sentiment. I think the Niners are going to rely more on George Kittle up the seam, and then Ayuk with, Mike Evans lit the Lions up, and I think Ayuk's going to have a similar day. And then Christian McCaffrey, I feel like he's going to get some. I know the Lions have a good run defense, but Christian McCaffrey's going to get some. I expect at least 100 yards.
The ultimate playmaker, man. I mean, what we saw him do against the Packers last week, the 40-plus yard touchdown run. He had another touchdown run. Put the ball in Christian McCaffrey's hands, and good things tend to happen. And
for the Lions to win this game, though, on defense, they got to force a couple Brock Purdy turnovers. The Packers, that was the literal difference between the Packers and Niners. It was that Jordan Love had 2 picks and Brock Purdy, he threw 2 picks that were in the hands of Packers that slipped out. And that was a literal difference in that game.
Now, today, just an officiating note, referee Cleet Blakeman's crew will be on the call, and they were second in the NFL in flags related to defensive pass coverage.
They also like to call roughing the passer quite a bit.
Yeah, so watch out for that today. I hate to have a referee stat in here.
Which is why, I mean, are we doing score predictions?
Yeah, we're gonna make our predictions right now. Let's go ahead. You could go ahead and do it.
Man, I just.
Aiden, who's going to the Super Bowl?
I gotta stick with my gut, man, because I literally said before the playoffs, Ravens and Niners, and I'm just as the rest of America, we're all rooting for the Lions. I think Alex is, you are as well. I'm pretty sure Marcos is as well. We all want the Lions to win. I just feel like their pass defense is gonna be the Achilles heel. It's gonna be the weak link in the chain. I think it's the weakest unit on both teams. But I think it's going to be a great game. I think Goff and the Lions offense are going to come ready to play, but I'm going to give the Niners 30, Lions 27.
All right, so you got a 3-point contest out in Santa Clara. Alex, I'll go ahead and toss it to you. What's your official prediction? It's Lions at 49ers NFC championship game.
I'm agreeing with Aiden. If they can get that pass game going early and really open up those running lanes eventually for Christian McCaffrey, I think it's going to be real tough sledding for that Lions defense, and it could really be the end of the game for them, depending on how fast the Niners get started. I think the Niners are going to have a good day, both passing and running. I think McCaffrey will get going eventually. I think early on it might be tough. I'm going to take the 49ers. I'm going to say 35 to, let's say, 31.
35-31. All right, pretty good little contest right there. Hey, if either of those work out, I'll be pretty happy, because I think we'll all be happy, because that'll be a pretty competitive game.
I mean, we all want the Lions to win, but man,
my heart.
I think the Niners. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a good game, but the Niners, they got stuck into the deep end against the Packers. I think they're gonna come a little better prepared.
My heart
on offense.
My heart says Lions. My brain is telling me Niners, but guys, I'm going with my heart today. I'm going with my heart. I think it's the Lions. I think we have a destiny team right here. I think Dan Campbell and company, I don't know how they get it done. It's going to get done. I can totally see the Lions getting out to a hot start, maybe forcing a tipped pass interception or two, similar to like how the Ravens did against the 49ers, kind of swarm them at the beginning, and then the Niners are going to have to mount some kind of furious comeback, and they'll make it close. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring, but I'm going to go Lions 27, 49ers 24. I think the Lions go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's not
I can't believe I just said that.
And it's not like the Niners are this unbeatable team. I mean, the Niners can be beat. So I mean, if you pick the Lions to win, there's no.
So there we go.
And just one more quick stat before we go. In the regular season, both of these teams had 2 of the top 3 run defenses.
Interesting. So running might be at a minimum, at a premium today, so to speak. Going to be something to look out for. Y'all guys got 49ers. I'm going Lions. Get your takes in on the text line, 361-882-5397. Who wins today? Who's going to the Super Bowl? Alex, we'll rejoin you at 10:30 to talk Chiefs and Ravens, my guy. So we'll talk to you here in a little bit. All righty. There goes Alex Weister. We appreciate him being on for this segment. Coming up next, some quick college hoops chat. The Islanders get a big win yesterday on the road. The Sunday Sports Rush rolls on. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 149. James Espinosa and Adin Ducker with you. We just had Alex Weister on previewing Lions at 49ers. It's Championship Sunday. It's not too late. Get your predictions in on the text line, 361-882-5397. We'll continue more of our NFL discussion in the next segment. I'll get to your guys' predictions in the next segment, but continue to send them in, 361-882-5397. Send those predictions into the text line right now. Nothing like Championship Sunday. It's one of the great sporting days of the year. 2 amazing games today. Awesome times. But right now, this is going to be our first college basketball segment of the season. What? It's college basketball, yes. College Hoops Saturday. I believe, Aiden, and I don't mean to be a jerk and do this on the fly, but I think we do have a March Madness theme somewhere in there.
Oh, we do.
I believe it's in there somewhere. SSR, March Madness, something like that. But yes, yesterday was College Hoops Saturday. Texas lost to BYU 84-72. Texas falls to 3-4 in the Big 12. Texas had a pretty good week, though. Last week, they knocked off number 9 Baylor in Austin. Then they go on the road on Monday night and defeat number 11 Oklahoma. But yesterday was a tough task for the Longhorns. They had to go to BYU where those crazy Mormons were going wild in the stands, all hopped up on their juice. 84-72. Texas just couldn't get anything done offensively. They were struggling in the half-court sets. BYU was playing a smothering defense. BYU was rebounding, hitting transitions, and just going off. So credit to the Cougars, man. I mean, they got the win last night. And Dylan Dessou, Texas forward, 19.7 rebounds. He was like the only offensive guy last night doing anything for Texas. Max Apesmith had a decent game. Mitchell, nowhere to be found. One of my favorite players, though, is Kendall Weaver, the young sophomore transfer from Arlington. He's a dog on the boards. He's one of those just spark plugs for Texas. But Texas falls, and now Texas will go and play Monday night against Houston, who's ranked number 4, who got a big win over Kansas State yesterday, 74-52. I saw a lot of that game.
I mean, I have no faith in this UT team, man. They'll probably make the tournament, but I don't see them going past round 2.
I was gonna say round 2 is probably their ceiling.
And then, I mean,
honest to God,
and then Rodney Terry, man, how embarrassing was that against the? I mean, just flat out like. Why is Horns Down so? Horns Down's not even that bad of a thing.
He sounded like a little petulant child when he complained about Horns Down when they lost to UCF. And then yesterday, a section of the BYU crowd was wearing Horns Down shirts. And according to the reports out there, they had to change their shirts. But it wasn't because Texas asked. It was because BYU staff officials told them not to do it, which is also still soft. It also,
I'm glad the SEC is doing away with that.
This whole Horns Down narrative is so soft. And I'm a Longhorns fan. It's just ridiculous. Who cares if people do Horns Down?
But why are you arguing with the opposing team's players like that? You're supposed to be professional. I mean, saying it in the press conference is one thing, right? But to go out and make a fool of yourself like that, man,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Some more top 10 scores to get to. Number 3, North Carolina wins 75-68 over Florida State. Number 5, Tennessee wins 75-62 over Vandy. Number 6, Kentucky. Yes, the Wildcats. Looking like they got a strong team once again. 63-57 over Arkansas. Upset in the top 10 yesterday. Number 23, Iowa State defeats Kansas up in Ames at the Hilton Center. 79-75.
Yeah, it's their worst start in the Big 12.
They're 4-3 in the Big 12.
I think it's either going to be Houston or Baylor winning the Big 12.
Texas Tech is also really good.
Yeah, but I
I
think Houston and Baylor are
Another upset in the top 10, Mississippi State defeats number 8 ranked Auburn 64-58.
And how are your Dukies doing?
Duke won yesterday, 72-71. They're ranked number 12.
But didn't they get upset earlier in the week?
Yeah, I think
Pitt or something like that.
Yeah, but they won yesterday against Clemson.
I'll tell you who looks good. I thought they were going to drop off a little bit, but UConn is, I think they're number 1 ranked right now.
They're number 1, and they play today.
Yeah.
The Huskies play today against Xavier.
I don't know if they're going to repeat because we haven't seen a repeat champion since the Florida teams with Billy Donovan. And I think losing Jordan Hawkins is going to bite them in the tournament, but I still think, they might probably make a Final Four again.
Now, quick Islanders report here. The Islanders win yesterday against Northwestern. They go on the road. They get a big victory. The men's team, 79-68. The Islanders improve to 5-2 in conference, 12-8 overall. They had a heartbreaking loss against McNeese on Monday night.
Oh, we got the audio.
Let's play the audio real quick.
But he must make this free throw first. I'm surprised there are not some fans that run down under the basket.
No! Rebound column! Layup missed!
shoemate the follow. Does it count? They'll check if it counts in amazing, unbelievable fashion.
It counted.
Yeah.
Tip in. Horrible loss to McNeese. The Islanders blew a 20-point lead.
And that's because they started the second half on a 20-0 run, right?
Ah, yes.
Or actually, well, it continued from the first half, but it was 20-0.
Yeah. Islanders, they lost on Monday, but I will give credit to the crowd. The crowd at the American Bank Center was amazing. They filled the lower bowl. It actually looked good on TV. Yes. They packed the ABC. Hard out. They packed the ABC. So, Corpus Christi, you guys showed out on Monday night, man, and y'all showed some damn pride for the Islanders. That's amazing. Even though they lost the game, I think Corpus as a fan base won the game because y'all guys packed the house in January. That's pretty good.
I mean, the Islanders, I still feel like they can make the NCAA tournament again and win the Southland Conference tournament.
It's not out of the question.
The regular season, I think they needed that win against McNeese to be in the regular season. I think, and then they had Will Wade, former D1 coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiretap Wade, as they call him.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But the Islanders, big win yesterday against Northwestern. Hour 2 is coming up next. We got more NFL talk. Keep it locked. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, and listeners worldwide. Welcome on in to hour number 2 of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I am your host, James Espinosa, joined alongside my co-host, producer, best friend. It is Adin Ducker.
Cougars, I love Cougars.
I know UT basketball didn't love him as much, but
No, they didn't, man. And, 361-882-5397. Get your takes in on the text line. Our question of the day is, who's going to the Super Bowl? Who wins between the Lions and the 49ers? Who wins between the Chiefs and the Ravens? Coming up here in the second hour. At 9:50, we'll have a sports grab bag. We'll have some Chiefs and Ravens audio to play for you as we head into Championship Sunday. At 10:30, we'll have our official Chiefs at Ravens preview. Alex Weister will join us back on the line. At 10:20, we'll dive into a tad bit of NBA news. Right now, though, we're going to continue some of our NFL discussion as we are in Championship Sunday, one of the greatest sports days of the year. Going to get to some of your predictions on the text line, 361-882-5397. Aaron is in here. Aaron says he predicts Ravens and Lions. He wants to see Lamar get a Super Bowl ring.
I want to see Lamar get a Super Bowl. There's two things that would look really badass if Lamar does deliver a Super Bowl. I remember when he was drafted and he told the camera, ESPN camera, straight up, like, I'm gonna get Baltimore's gonna get a Super Bowl out of me.
Let's go.
And then
the prophecy. That'd be amazing.
And then I don't know if you saw, I sent it in. I sent it in after the game ended against the Texans, but there's a shot of Lamar walking into the locker room at halftime, and he looks super angry. He looks super mad. Like, that face LeBron made against the Celtics in that Game 6?
Yeah.
It was similar to that. And those it would make those moments look so much more cool.
It would be cool if he could live up to the prophecy, I guess, of what he said he was going to do. It's always nice when that happens.
Yeah.
361-882-5397. Continue to get your takes in on the text line. I got one coming in. This is from Fam Bam Vera. That's his name. He says the Ravens linebackers are too cold, even though it's Patrick Mahomes. And San Francisco, without Debo, is a different team. Go Lions. Now, let me correct you real quick, Fam Bam Vera. Debo's going to play. He's not listed on the questionable or out list as of right now. Debo did say earlier this week that he is suiting up, that he is going to give it a go. I guess you can also say, to his point, Debo might not be 100%, and that could definitely affect how the 49ers operate today.
Yeah, but the Niners, they have all sorts of talent on offense with all-pro Trent Williams, all-pro George Kittle, All-Pro Chris McCaffrey, All-Pro fullback Kyle Juszczyk, a Pro Bowl quarterbacker Brock Purdy, and then Brandon Ayuk, who caught 1,300 yards.
I don't think Debo's gonna be the difference if the Lions end up winning. You know what I mean? It'll be somewhat of a factor, but I don't think the 49ers are automatically doomed if Debo is not 100% like you're saying.
I mean, if the Niners lose, I don't want to hear a damn excuse because they're usually they're that team and fan base. When they lose, there's always an excuse.
The Niners fans, for as much as they make fun of Cowboys fans and as much as they think that their S doesn't stink, 49ers fans complain and bitch and moan about every single thing. Fun fact.
I mean, the Cowboys still have a more recent Super Bowl win than the Niners.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that the Niners have made a few NFC title games and made a couple Super Bowls, but they didn't win them. Fun
fact, the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl was 1994. The last time the Cowboys did was 1995. So, yeah, by 1 year, technically, the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl, sooner than the Niners have.
I mean, you don't want to be that era of team, and this Niners team since 2019. You don't want to be that team.
Now, I guess question
to not make it, to not get over the hump of the Super Bowl.
Question: would you rather be the Cowboys, who have a more recent Super Bowl win, but have not even come close to a Super Bowl, much less an NFC title game in these past 30 years, or would you rather be the 49ers, who have a longer Super Bowl drought, but have been to multiple Super Bowls and lost? What would you rather be as a fan?
I mean, I get you could say, yeah, the Niners fans have endured more heartbreak, but they've been more competitive than the Cowboys. Let's be real on that in the playoffs.
They have been more competitive. At the end of the day, it's still zero. It's still zero Super Bowls.
I mean, it's 1 year though. It's a 1 year difference in Super Bowl.
But what would you rather be, the fan that always gets their heart broken in the Super Bowl, or the fans that's just like, you know what?
I mean, I wouldn't be either.
You have to pick one. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm automatically where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm not used to getting to those NFC title games, but we'll see. 361-882-5397. Andres is in here. This is Andres, our good friend. 361-882-5397. He says, Lions in an upset. 49ers cannot overcome turnovers. Lions 27-25.
And then speaking of NFC title game, we got the Fred Warner audio.
We do, yeah. We'll play that here in one moment. Yeah. Andres continues to say he has the Chiefs upsetting Lamar and the Ravens. Aiden is left punching air, laughing face emojis. Kansas City 24, Ravens 20.
I mean,
are you ready? Are you ready for the ridicule if the Ravens lose today?
I mean, losing to the greatest quarterback of this era is not the. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
It would hurt, yeah.
Okay.
It would hurt, but I mean, Mahomes is. Mahomes is my ultimate respect as a fan. So
there will be some. There will be.
It'll hurt, yeah.
There will be a salute and a tip of the cap if Mahomes and the Chiefs do it today.
I mean, I just don't want I don't want the Chiefs winning because of Lamar struggle. I want the Chiefs to win via I want Mahomes to make plays.
Okay.
Because there's nothing worse than seeing the opposing quarterback get credit for a win when he plays like dog crap because the other quarterback sold even more.
You're right. Hopefully Lamar is not the factor as to why the Chiefs win today. Right?
I mean, and then look at the Ravens, front. Well, we'll preview it more.
Yeah, we got Ravens and Chiefs preview coming up at 10:30. Right now, though, I wanted to play this Fred Warner audio from the 49ers, linebacker great Fred Warner. He was discussing being back in the NFC title game and what this means for the 49ers trying to get over the hump and get back to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to look at it. I walk up here, I see this little sheet behind me, and I'm like, I can blink, and I remember getting up here, getting ready for Philly, seeing that same exact banner, and the fact that we're here. You work so hard all season long. We talked about it all season to be able to put ourselves in a position where we could play the NFC Championship game again and also do it at home. How big that is up for us, and we did that. We have that opportunity right now. So how can you not sell out? How can you not give your all to this thing? How can you not make sure you're playing your best ball for 3 hours on Sunday? I know the type of team we have, the type of players we have and talent. I know if we play our best ball for 3 hours, we'll get the job done.
And he can be a game-changing player. He can be a definite X factor for this 49ers defense. There's something about Fred Warner, Aiden. Dude is just always around the ball. Whether it's like a tipped ball, he's just always right there to intercept it or try to get his hands on it. Fred Warner is what everybody should want their linebackers to be.
Yeah, I mean, well, him and Roquan Smith are the two best interior linebackers in the NFL.
Yeah,
and I actually like and respect Fred Warner. I think he's one of the ones that, like, you know, I hear him mic'd up. He seems like a good personality. He doesn't seem like the rest of the 49ers where they like to make excuses and starting fights with people and whatnot. So yeah,
I like him. He's a good guy.
And then he's been Cowboys fans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It seems like every Cowboys game he has his best game. Like, I don't know what it is he has against Dak, but he knows what's gonna happen.
Doesn't it seem like almost everybody has their best game against Dallas in the playoffs at some point or another? Let's go ahead and hear from Dan Campbell, Lions head coach, who says that the Lions are right where they need to be as they head into today's NFC title game against the 49ers.
We're right where we need to be, and the minute you start trying to make this greater than it really is, which is another football game right in front of you, and you prepare the same way, you practice the same way, you put your socks on the same way, that's when I think you run into problems. This is the next game, and and they've done this all year. Our guys have done it all year. We've done things right. We understand what it's going to take, and we respect the opponent, know what they're capable of, and we know exactly what we're capable of.
Oh man, Dan Campbell, he's the number one coach in the NFL where, like, I would run through a brick wall. For.
And his message is correct. Don't make this more than it has to be. If you're the Lions, if you're a Lions fan, you haven't been in this position since 1991. Don't make this more than it has to be. Make this another game. The 49ers, as Dan Campbell said, they put on their socks and shoes the same way we do. Yeah, that's typical coach speak, and, you know, you want to hear that from your coach, but that mindset, that mentality is true. Don't make this bigger than it is. Go out there and play your game.
And I'm not going to say, you know what's funny? I'm not going to say that it's going to I doubt it will happen, but let's say, like America's rooting for the Lions, right? Like,
I would say I would damn near say 95% of America is rooting for the Lions.
But, like, imagine they become the NFC juggernaut, like, kind of like similar to what the Chiefs are in the AFC, and then now, like, they become the villain. You know what I'm saying? It'd be funny, but
that could happen.
As far as the Lions are concerned, you know what's funny is that there was quite a bit of people when Dan Campbell was hired, and then he did that kneecap press conference, like. And there was those social justice warrior kind of accounts. I'm not going to name names. Jamel Hill. Where it's like you're seeing all these other coaches getting passed up these opportunities for the NFL to hire musclehead meatheads like this guy.
Wow, that's because Jamel Hill's a Lions fan.
Yeah, or it might have been Jamel. It was somebody. It was somebody of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. But yeah, look, I'm excited.
But he's been everything the Lions have hoped for.
And if Dan Campbell were to take the Lions to a Super Bowl, if he were to take the Lions further than they've ever been as the head coach, I'll tell you this right now, Dan Campbell doesn't need another job ever in his career. He could have this Lions job for the next 20 to 25 seasons if he were to take the Lions to a Super Bowl. I swear, they're that type of town where he could be like the next Tom Landry type of deal. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be there. Like, that will be his only job, is the Lions head coach. Like, he could solidify himself like that if he were to take the Lions to the promised land.
But at the same time, like, say the Lions do, like, win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, sometimes it doesn't end that way. You know, Doug Peterson, we thought he was going to be a Philadelphia, like
legend.
I mean, he still is, you know.
But like a long-term legend.
But he got fired like few seasons later. So it's like, I'm hoping Dan Campbell's like a long-term head coach for that team. The only problem is, though, that Packers with Jordan Love, their future's pretty good.
361-88.
So they're going to be a thorn in the side of the Lions.
That and the Bears with the number one pick. We'll see what happens, who they draft. NFC North is looking pretty interesting as we head forward. But 361-882-5397. Get your takes in on the text line right now. I want to know who's going to the Super Bowl, flat out. Who wins between Lions and 49ers? Who wins between the Chiefs and the Ravens? What is your Super Bowl prediction? Hit us up. Text us right now, 361-882-5397. When we come back, The NBA had themselves quite the night last night. The Lakers and Warriors battled, and Wemby and the Spurs actually won back-to-back games. We talk a little bit of NBA after the break. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 149. It's James Espinosa, Adin Ducker. We're rocking with you till 11 a.m. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll have our official Chiefs at Ravens AFC title game preview. Alex Weister will rejoin us live from the DFW to help us break down that game. We'll give our predictions, our X factors, what to watch for besides Taylor Swift. All of that and more.
No.
Coming up in 15 minutes. Just imagine. I'll save it. I'll save it for the Ravens and Chiefs' sake.
No, I got something to say about it, too.
I was going to say, just imagine if it's Lions versus Chiefs, it's going to be Eminem versus Taylor Swift.
Oh, everybody, every NFL fan is rooting for Eminem.
I'm just saying.
I mean, every NFL.
Wait, time out. Not everybody. Look.
Well, no,
Lions? I'm not an Eminem fan.
Really?
No.
Wow. Do you think he's don't say it. Do you think he's overrated?
I think he's a tad bit overrated. I don't like his cadence.
No.
You want to hear my Eminem cadence?
What?
Because I rap and I sing and I rap and I say everything just like this and I go just like this.
But he made some legendary.
He says one word period. One word period. Like he talks in one word sentences.
He over enunciates one word in the sentence. Is that what it is?
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
361-882.
Listeners, we're sorry for the bad Eminem impressions. He made some legendary bangers, though. I kind of want to play.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
Okay.
He is a legend. I just don't like his cadence. I don't put Eminem on in my car. Put it that way. Like, he's not like that.
I mean, I don't as well, but if Lose Yourself, like, Random Shuffle.
All time. Oh, yeah. It's an all-time song.
To, like, Collapse.
Song. Yeah.
Even his party songs are good.
Sure. All right. That's
okay, I'll stop.
361-882-5397. Get your final takes in here on who's going to win today's games.
That was a very unhinged Eminem segment.
That was pretty unhinged, but that's what we do. Let's dive into some NBA. Let's go into the association because there was some big news this week. I'm just going to kind of go down the hits here.
Oh, man.
Of the association. So the Bucks had a big fiasco where they fired Adrian Griffin after 43 games. He was 30-13 when he got fired by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Number 2 seed in the East.
And now they bring on Doc Rivers, who the funny part about this story is that Doc Rivers was a consultant to the Bucks and Adrian Griffin. Doc Rivers snaked his way into a head coaching job. He leaves ESPN's broadcast booth where he was scheduled to do the NBA Finals with Doris Burke.
And let's be honest, he was mid at best.
Mike Breen.
He was mid at best.
Wasn't the best, but so now the Bucks are going to be relying on Doc Rivers. Let's just look at what Doc Rivers has done in his NBA career. Yes, he has an NBA title. I understand that.
But that was well long ago. I was in 6th grade.
That was like 2007 or 8, something like that.
2008. I was in 6th grade, James. I'm 26 now.
Yeah, that was my senior year of high school. Doc Rivers has lost an NBA record 32 closeout games. Rivers has lost an NBA record 7 series when leading 3-2. Rivers has lost an NBA record 10 Game 7s. Doc Rivers has lost an NBA record 12 series when holding a series lead.
And I think he's blown 3 separate 3-1 leads.
Wow. And this is the guy who the Bucks want to take over the top of Giannis and Dame Lillard and the rest of that supporting cast. What the Bucks have done is pretty unstable. And another stat that I didn't realize, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been in the NBA for 8 seasons. Guess how many head coaches Giannis has had in 8 seasons?
I'm going to guess 5.
7.
7?
Giannis?
I know they had Jason Kidd for a couple years.
Is Giannis a coach killer?
I mean, he's kind of got it's that LeBron quality. Remember the Cavs of David Blatt?
Doesn't it smell like coach killer to me? I don't know. I'm just saying. People want to.
I have a theory that Adrian Griffin was too hard on Thanasis.
Thanasis.
And I'm guessing it rubbed Giannis and Giannis' teammates are going to back up their star player, Giannis.
Yeah.
And I guess Thanasis, he's like that dude that he has to be the link.
Look, Thanasis is that kid you put in the Little League game because he has to get one at bat.
No, remember Alabama? Saban got Tua and his brother to be on the roster.
Yeah.
And that was like a what's it called? What's the word?
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, they pretty much had to sweeten the deal. Like, come to my team, we'll keep your brother.
Yeah, something like that. There's a word for it, though.
But Thanasis, like I said, is that kid in the Little League game that you're required to put in for 3 outs or 1 at bat. Like, he's that kid. Sorry.
But apparently, like, I guess like they lost him. Griffin lost him and Dame in terms of like the locker room talk and like just X's and O's, I guess.
Unstable.
I don't get it, man. And the Bucks do have a title in 2021, but it just feels like I think that's probably the only one they're going to get right now, at least right now.
Luka dropped 73 points on the Hawks the other night, the 4th most in NBA history. Luka Doncic was going off. The Mavericks, of course, last night they lost to the Kings. The Mavericks are a very up and down team. They're 25-21. They're not living up to potential, in my opinion.
The only year that they were really good was when Jalen Brunson became like a
star
player, and that was like a two. Looking back at it, when they made the Western Conference Finals, that was like a 2-headed monster there. Jason Kidd, I don't think he's the best head coach.
Rumblings of Kidd's job security in the Dallas metro area, that's been talked about a lot these past week or so.
They should be better than what they are.
Exactly.
Especially when you have a talent like Luka Doncic.
Last night, the Lakers defeat the Warriors in overtime, 145-144. LeBron James and Steph battled. Steph dropped 46.7 assists. LeBron James in year 21 of his NBA career, 36 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists. An immaculate performance by both. A lot of sideways calls went against both teams. That's what the talk is this morning, is that the NBA refs helped LeBron win. LeBron drew a foul in the waning moments, hit a couple of free throws. 145-144, Lakers win.
I mean, to me, that was just a great battle between two middle of the pack Western Conference teams.
And then
but it was a good moment. It was one of those like, you know, the two legends, they're old and they still got it.
Yeah, it was a hey, look at us, man, we could still ball, which was pretty incredible.
But Steph and LeBron they're not great enough to like get the team constant wins by themselves anymore.
The Spurs defeats one of the best Western Conference teams last night, 113-112. The Spurs get their 10th win of the season and back-to-back wins. Yay, Spurs!
I mean, the draft.
Yay, we got double-digit wins.
I mean, the draft doesn't look too hot compared to last year. So
they're going to have 2 top 10 picks as slated right now. So we'll see.
I'm not a believer in the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards is a good story, but I feel like they're kind of like the Jazz of. Remember the 2021 Jazz when they had the number 1 seed? I feel like they're second-round team at best.
Devin Vassell had 25 points for the Spurs last night in victory.
I've been saying in a couple years he'll be an all-star.
Wembanyama, let's see how Victor did last night. Wembanyama had 23 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and he did a Sham God crossover on Rudy Gobert, which everybody was freaking out on
and I'm
on
sorry,
Twitter.
But he's the rookie of the year. I mean, Chet Holmgren is playing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And Chet battled the other night, and that was fun to watch.
Yeah, but like, I can see why, because the Thunder are winning, but the Thunder are winning because they got that guard that shoots almost 60% from the field, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wemby was 3 of 6 from three-point land, 9 of 17 from the field. His shot is getting a little bit better, so watch out for Wemby. I would say rookie of the year for sure, but others will disagree. It's all good. That's where the Spurs are at, 10-36 on the season. Coming up next, Alex Weister rejoins us. We're going to talk Chiefs at Ravens and give our official predictions for the AFC title game. Keep it locked. We talk more football. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Sunday Sports Rush episode number 150. Oh, it's not 150. Excuse me. It's 149. Sorry, 150 is coming up next.
Yeah, 150 is next week, and we possibly got Dotson on.
Possibly.
Dotson said he'll let us know.
Mr. Lewis might join us next week. Speaking of who's been joining us. Speaking of who's been our longtime friends, that's Crossroads Clinical Research. If you need a friend in Corpus Christi, someone that's going to look after your health, someone that's going to point you on the right way to a healthy lifestyle, that is Jerry Plemons and company at Crossroads Clinical Research. You can hit them up at 361-288-4668. They're looking out for your health. They're looking out for your well-being. And guess what, guys? Sometimes you need someone to keep you accountable and keep you on track. That's what Crossroads does. Hit them up. Take one of their medical surveys. You can earn some cash while you're at it. Jerry Plemons, one of the best guys that I know. If I'm vouching for Jerry, you damn well be sure that Jerry will have you in his good, gracious, and gentle hands. It is Crossroads Clinical Research. Number 3CRA.com. We appreciate Crossroads Clinical Research for sponsoring the show. All right. We got Mitchell in here. Before we get to Alex Weister on the line, you could go ahead. No, throw Alex Weister on. Alex Weister's back with us. Alex, appreciate you rejoining us. I got to read a text that came in. 361-882-5397. This comes from Mitchell. Mitchell says it's already decided. Ravens and Niners are going to the Super Bowl according to all the cakes with those teams printed at Walmart. And then I replied to him, what are you talking about? And then he says, at Walmart right now, there are cakes printed out that say Ravens versus 49ers Super Bowl. Has the script been leaked?
I mean, look at the Super Bowl logo.
I'm just saying, Mitchell is claiming that the script has been leaked on our text line, 361-882-5397.
But the Super Bowl logo too.
That
having purple and the Niner shade of what's
Niner shade of red, gold, something like that.
Like red.
It was red, yeah.
So anyway, Mitchell is claiming that the script is leaked, and if you go to one of the Corpus Christi Walmarts right now, they got cakes of Ravens versus 49ers. I don't know. Maybe they do. Mitchell, if you're listening, send in a picture. I want to see this cake you claim is at Walmart right now. 361-882-5397. Speaking of Ravens, let's dive into our AFC title game preview. We do have Alex Weister on the line. This is actually the first game of the docket at 2 p.m. It's going to be on CBS with Tony and Joe.
Oh, man. This is... All I'm going to say is, Tony, you better glaze Lamar as much as you glaze Mahomes.
Chiefs in their sixth straight AFC championship game. Sixth season in the league, sixth AFC title game for Mahomes. The Ravens' first AFC title game since 2012, and the first time the city of Baltimore has hosted a title game since 1971 when they were the Baltimore Colts. Alex Weister, you're on the line. Give us your initial thoughts. Chiefs, Ravens. I said this earlier in the show, but it's only fitting that if Lamar Jackson and the Ravens want to get to where they have to be, they have to go through the man, the myth, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden and I are going to be real passionate with this one. This is going to be a game, man. It's been a long time coming for the Ravens. This is arguably the most complete team that we may ever see from them, and this is their best shot. They are healthy. Pretty much everybody's back. Mark Andrews will play. Marlon Humphrey's back. This is their best chance to win the AFC Championship game and book their ticket to the playoffs.
Now, what to watch for today in this game? This game marks the first playoff meeting between Mahomes and Jackson. In the regular season, Mahomes is 3-1 against Jackson, which is the most wins of any starting quarterback against the Lamar Jackson-led team. So just something to watch out for. But in their most recent meeting, this was a couple of years back, of course, Jackson and the Ravens beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Jackson rushed for 107 yards and scored 3 touchdowns, including flipping into the end zone for the winning score. Does Lamar have what it takes to get it done on the ground against this Chiefs defense?
Yeah, and here's the thing that kind of worries me too, is that this is the best Chiefs defense Mahomes has had, on his team. They're a top 5 defensive points allowed. They honestly, last year's AFC title game against the Bengals, the Chiefs defense kind of won them that game, holding that Bengals offense to just 20 points and shutting them down in the fourth. So I could see a similar scenario where the Ravens, are kind of in that mix where, like, Lamar's going to get some points. He's not going to be shut down out of this game, but it could be a struggle at times, possibly.
Now, here's a stat to look at, guys, both Alex and Aiden and everybody out there listening. Here's a stat to know. Steve Spagnuolo's been the Chiefs' defensive coordinator since 2019. In that time, no team has allowed more rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks in the regular season than the Chiefs. That's 26 total. So they can be run on.
I mean,
Lamar Jackson can exploit that.
I mean, we saw in last year's Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts, he had the game of his life against that defense. So it is possible that we might see a repeat of that.
Well, we saw last week. Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown against the Chiefs defense.
But then the Chiefs, they end up kind of tightening up, and they got the stops in the fourth when they needed to. I know, aided by the missed field goal.
We're here with Alex Weister, who's joining us on the line live from the DFW, helping us break down the AFC title game. Alex, what are some of your matchup X factors you're looking for? Ravens, Chiefs, of course, AFC title game. Just what is a little nugget that you would like to pass along?
I think it's the main X factor is going to be the Ravens front seven. I think they need pressure, nonstop. Get to Patrick Mahomes, rattle him, make him uncomfortable. He has shown this year that he can be uncomfortable in the pocket. He can be uncomfortable in a game, and that could lead to success for the defense. And we know that the Ravens have the talent to do that. Justin Matabike, Jadeveon Clowney, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, you name it. The defense is loaded.
An embarrassment of riches that they have on that defensive
absolutely.
front. Now, check this out, Alex. I said this stat earlier in the show also, and it blew my mind. The Ravens have 7 players who have all registered 20 or more pressures this season.
Yep.
They have a wave. They have a fleet. They have a flock of Ravens that can just pressure the quarterback. And it's not just one guy. It's not just 2 guys. It's not 3. It's 7 dudes who could get consistent pressure. This Chiefs offensive line is going to have their hands full today.
And the Chiefs are also missing Joe Thuney. He's ruled out. And I feel like
that's a big loss.
And I know Creed Humphrey, he's an all-pro center and he's solid, but I think Madubuike is going to exploit that missing that void that's going to be left.
Now,
because Joe Thuney was the first-team all-pro guard this year.
A matchup factor to watch for the Chiefs is Mahomes' scrambling ability. The Chiefs have had a rough time in the passing game all season long. We know that, guys. We know their struggles with their receivers. It's going to get tougher against Baltimore, which has allowed the second lowest scoring to opposing receivers, and they've recorded the most sacks in the league with 60. So not only do they put pressure and they lead the league in sacks with 60, but their secondary has allowed the second lowest scoring to opposing receivers this season. And we know the Chiefs are going to be without Kadarius Toney, which might be a positive for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that one kind of that one stung me when I saw that. I was hoping he would come back and play.
But
Rashee
Rice has kind of emerged as a playmaking threat here in the playoffs, and then you cannot discount the playoff connection between Mahomes and Travis Kelce, which we saw last week up in Buffalo. Travis Kelce had a pretty damn good game, got into the end zone a couple of times.
Yes.
That experience right there alone could be an X factor.
Yeah, but to me, Sean McDermott always coaches like a McDummy, against the Chiefs. I mean, it's true.
Calm down.
Like Kelce was wide open on several plays, and the Bills just did not have the attrition to deal with. The Chiefs, all the injuries that they had. It bit them in that game, and so the Ravens are fully healthy on defense. Like I said, Marlon Humphrey's going to come back. I expect them to put a mix of Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey on Travis Kelce to limit the damage. And we've seen this year, Travis Kelce, he's had games where he's been limited. I mean, we saw I think the Raiders during Christmas week completely shut that Chiefs offense down.
You brought up a name, and Alex, I'll ask you your opinion of this guy right here.
Yeah.
Aiden just brought up the name Kyle Hamilton, safety for the Ravens. I feel like this guy doesn't get enough talk around the national circuit.
Absolutely.
He's one of the best playmaking safeties in the league. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife of a player. he is amazing to watch play football.
We haven't had a safety this good since Ed Reed.
What are your thoughts on Kyle Hamilton, Alex Weister?
I mean, he's just absolutely amazing. I've gotten to watch a lot of the Ravens this year, and when you watch their defense, he is a name that you see multiple times a game. He is incredible. And talking about some of the matchups he may see, going back to Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice, out of the 477 passing yards they have in the postseason so far, 323 of them are to Kelce and Rashee Rice. Those are two guys that you have to play physical against. You have to get them on the line, allow the defense to get back into the backfield, put pressure on Mahomes. Kelce has lost a step. It's very clear. He does not have the speed that he once had. If you can get him pressed up on the line, not allow him to go anywhere, and try and bracket Rashee Rice as much as you can, that really only leaves Isaiah Pacheco as the main guy left on that offense.
And Isaiah Pacheco, just this morning, it was reported by Rap Sheet, he is scheduled to play. There was questions of him being able to go. I know he got banged up a tad bit, but he is slated to play for the Chiefs today.
And Pacheco's a very physical runner. He'll get those extra yards, but the Ravens defense is going to match that physicality right back at him.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if he's going to be as effective as well. And also, I mean, much respect to Fred Warner, but I mean, a little bias here. I think Roquan's the best linebacker in the NFL, like interior-wise.
I'm not mad at that.
And what's funny is that the Ravens, we've been looking for that Ray Lewis, Ed Reed combo that are we going to get that again? And I think we have. Roquan's been a vocal leader this year too. You know, we hear how he's just been a leader. He's been everything that the Ravens have asked him to be. And then Kyle Hamilton, he's that, I'm not going to, nobody's Ed Reed, but he's a similar playmaker to how he can impact a game. And so I'm pretty fired up. Let's just say that.
I'm fired up for this one, guys. And just one more little note to get to that will make our official predictions. The red zone could be obviously a big key. Kansas City's defense loves to play man coverage in the red zone, especially inside its own 10-yard line. Baltimore offensive coordinator Todd Monken, he should have some answers there with Jackson and the receivers. And
the Todd father.
Jackson's ability to scramble and make plays. The Ravens were 8th in red zone efficiency, scoring a touchdown on 61% of their trips inside the 20. So when the Ravens get in the red zone, 6 out of 10 times they are putting it in the end zone for 6 points.
And Todd Monken, he's a guy that
Todd father.
He is not afraid to make adjustments when the game plan isn't working. We saw that against the Texans, where he switched it up with more shallow crosses, more quick plays, quick short screens, and even Lamar, extending plays with his legs. I'm so confident, that.
Go ahead.
I don't expect Lamar to get shut down. At least he's gonna be a factor.
Make your prediction, Adin Ducker.
Okay.
Ravens, Chiefs. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
I think it's gonna be a good game, but I just think the Ravens getting back Marlon Humphrey and Mark Andrews I think that's gonna push them over the top even more. I got them by a touchdown. Give me the Ravens 26, Chiefs 19. Mahomes is gonna give a good effort, but I just think that the Ravens are a healthy, complete team.
Alex, you're up. Ravens, Chiefs. Who goes to Las Vegas?
It's going to be racking my brain all day long until this game is finished. I'm going to go Ravens 27, Chiefs 24. It's going to be a close one, but man, I can't go against the Ravens right now. This team is complete. They are playing great physical football. I can't go against them. I got the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
I love the storyline heading into this game. You got Mahomes, who's trying to get back to what would this be, his 4th Super Bowl?
It'd be his 4th.
It'd be his 4th Super Bowl, trying to win his 3rd Super Bowl. You got Lamar Jackson and this Ravens franchise trying to break through that glass ceiling. They're going to be at home. M&T Bank Stadium, in my opinion, is one of the more underrated home crowds in the NFL. They were rocking last week.
And here's the thing.
I have been in M&T. That place gets loud.
Yeah, it looks like it on TV.
I just think that the Chiefs, outside of Rashee Rice, them not being dynamic at receiver, and their tackles are a little bit shaky, especially Jawan Taylor. I just think that's going to bite, the Chiefs in the end. And also losing Joe Thuney, I just think that with a complete team like the Ravens, the only major injuries the Ravens are going to have are losing, Keaton Mitchell. They signed Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook could be a factor as well.
Y'all guys have given some great analysis, and I appreciate that so much.
Oh, no.
But I'm going to make a prediction.
Oh, no.
And I don't really have any analysis here, guys. It's just I have a hard time picking against Patrick Mahomes in these moments. And I'm going to go with Patrick, and I'm going to go with Andy Reid, and I'm going to go with Travis Kelce, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win on the road. And I think this just further solidifies the legacy of Mahomes. I think we're going to have a Mahomes legacy game today on the road, AFC title game, hostile environment. The Chiefs win by a touchdown, 30-23.
And I can say this right now, I think the winner of this game wins the Super Bowl. Because if the Chiefs are good enough to beat the Ravens in Baltimore, I think they're good enough to beat the Niners or the Lions.
That wraps it up. Alex, you got any parting shots here, Alex, before we let you go?
It's going to be a great day of football, gentlemen.
Yes, it is. Alex, hey, man, we appreciate you devoting some time this morning to join us for both previews. And then, of course, in a couple of weeks, hopefully you could join us again to preview the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome.
Yes, sir.
All righty, there he goes. Alex, we appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you later. There goes Alex Weister. Super Bowl predictions. Get them in here. Final segment is coming up. We do have some Chiefs and Ravens audio to play for you. We'll talk some more NFL. We'll talk whatever the hell we want to talk about. It is the Sports Grab Bag, Sunday Sports Rush. One more segment. Keep it here. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 149. It's Championship Sunday. I appreciate all of y'all being by the dial. Sending in your text messages. You got one more segment to do so. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Lions versus 49ers, Chiefs versus Ravens. A glorious day of football to be had. And we're glad y'all joined us this morning. Appreciate Alex Weister for being on the line for 2 segments, helping us preview both games. Should be a wonderful day. Caitlin's in here on the text line, 361-882-5397. Caitlin says she's rooting for them Lions. All right.
Caitlin, is this Caitlin Shook?
No, it's
a different Caitlin?
It's a different Caitlin.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Caitlin.
We got Dana in here. Dana says the Lions, exclamation point. A lot of people rooting for Detroit. Rightfully so. They're a great story. Let's dive into some audio. Let's play Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, this is a real quick clip. It's maybe like 20 seconds at most. Lamar Jackson says that he is obviously excited for this moment today.
I mean, I'm excited. I see it on social media, all the fans. I'm getting tagged every day, all day. So I'm definitely seeing it, and I'm knowing what's going on. I understand what's at stake for the city and how everyone feel about the team, so definitely.
He's excited. He knows what's on the line. He knows what's at stake. Ravens Nation. What does Ravens Nation call themselves? Are they the flock?
I mean, the flock.
Yeah. They're excited. They're fixing to caw their way. Caw. Fixing to do that all day long at M&T Bank Stadium.
Man, dude.
Hey, it's reported that the Ravens are pulling out all the stops today. They're bringing in Ray Lewis. They're bringing in Jonathan Ogden, Ed Reed.
Legends of the game.
Yeah, man. Imagine that. Imagine having all of the Ravens dignitaries in the house for what could possibly be arguably one of the greatest moments in Baltimore sports history.
I will say this, Mahomes pulls this off, it'll be his most impressive win of his career.
If Mahomes and the Chiefs pull this off, yes, you're right, Aiden. I will agree with you. I think this is his most impressive feat. It will be his greatest run ever, especially if they were able to win a Super Bowl. Now, this is Mahomes and the Chiefs. This is post-game. After they beat the Bills last week, after Tyler Bass missed that field goal wide right and the Chiefs get the win in Buffalo, this is their post-game huddle that was captured on camera. And this is the kind of attitude that makes me believe in Patrick Mahomes because he hears what is being said. He's cognizant of that. It drives him. It fuels him. And he's just that kind of guy. Here's Patrick Mahomes after they beat the Bills.
Hey, real quick. Hey, they asked for it. Yeah. And they got what they asked for. Hey, but he said it. This ain't done. We come back next week ready to go.
And turn it up a notch.
Chiefs on 3, 1, 2, 3.
They asked for it, and they got it. The Bills did talk some smack previous in the week. Deion Dawkins in particular said, well, Patrick's never been here with fans. He's never been to Buffalo with the fans.
Yeah, and then the Ravens, there's a healthy respect for Mahomes, but I mean, the Ravens have a right to be confident in themselves as well. And then the Bills fans, you have them throwing snowballs. I think that kind of gave the Chiefs like a little bit more of an edge, too.
Yeah, and
Bills fans, we like y'all, but be better.
Be better than that, man. I mean, and honestly, do you expect better from Bills fans? They're the fan base that throws D's onto the field.
Oh yeah,
remember that incident?
They're the most wild fan base in the NFL.
The Bills fans are the trailer trash of the NFL. I'll just say it straight out. Them and Jacksonville are definitely
Jacksonville. I mean, the Philly fans are
okay. Yeah, those three fan bases. Jacksonville has a rowdy fan base too.
And then Cowboys, Raiders, and Niners fans are very similar. Like the jean shorts with the high, the jean shorts.
Hey, what's up?
Tatted up with jean shorts, jersey, and high white socks.
Orderly, Cowboy. Orderly, Raiders.
I can say that I'm Hispanic, so don't get mad
at me. I
can
say it too.
Yeah,
I just won't do it. I just won't do it as well.
Orderly, Cowboys.
Stupid Cowboys. All right, well, it is what it is, right? Today is just a great day for football. 361-882-5397. Final predictions. Get them in. Get them in. Andres has a follow-up. Andres is back in here. One more final shot from Andres.
Okay.
He says, when the Chiefs beat the Ravens in Baltimore, Ray might F around and kill somebody, ... again.
I mean, how many times have I heard that one?
Yeah, dude, if the Chiefs do beat the Ravens, everybody get away from Ray Lewis. Keep all sharp objects away from Ray Lewis.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Jackson Mahomes.
I'm kidding.
Jackson Mahomes.
Taylor Swift?
No, leave Taylor.
Okay.
Man. Why am I saying that? You're the one that.
I know. Look at you defending Taylor Swift now.
No, but Jackson Mahomes, he is scum, man. I mean, we see in the video. We see on video him sexually assaulting a woman. So
remember whenever he stood on the?
I wouldn't mind Jackson Mahomes meeting Ray Lewis in an Oklahoma drill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, geez, dude.
That's what he deserves.
Golly, okay.
Put Ray Lewis padded up in Oklahoma drill. And just lay Jackson Mahomes in the ground.
Knowing Jackson Mahomes, he'll probably start filming a TikTok and make it into content.
No, he won't even be able to stand up to even film.
Well, that wraps up the show. Championship Sunday.
Yeah, unhinged. Let's go.
Enjoy the games today. Lions, 49ers, Ravens, Chiefs. We'll be back next week to break it all down for you guys. We appreciate y'all this morning. Alex Weister for getting in. Crossroads Clinical Research for sponsoring the show. Y'all guys texting in and being involved with the show, it means a ton to us. Episode 149 is in the books. No more questions. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy Championship Sunday.